Hey everybody, it's Chrissy here from the Creative Eclectic. Hope you're having a fabulous day or night. Happy Tuesday or happy Tuesday night if you're in Australia, or Tuesday morning if you're in the US and I think the UK. So, how is everyone? Must tell you, it's a little bit warm here in South East Queensland. Not as hot as it was last week, or yesterday, but it's still stinking hot. Okay, let's see who's watching. We've got Steve watching. No, that's not really Steve. That's me watching on Steve's phone. Okay, so tonight it's all about getting back to basics. And I am right on time today. I'm pretty impressed with that. So I'm hoping that that's an indication of how fabulous tonight's Facebook Live is going to go. But we'll wait and see. And hopefully someone else will be watching soon. So, tonight we're talking about hello Sharon. Thank goodness someone turned up. I've had a bit of a day like that. Yeah, so tonight we're talking about getting back to basics on a few things, and also playing with the stamp set and having a look at the stuff in the celebration catalogue. So and the reason we're doing a back to basics is because I had a lot of requests about how to do a few things that I just take for granted that everybody knows. So I'm hoping that we'll be able to impart some knowledge that'll make your life easier. Alright, sorry, how are you, Sharon? I bet you're sweltering up there too, although you might be on cyclone watch. I don't know. I don't know if the cyclone's coming down that far. I don't know at all. I haven't watched the news. Hi, Glenda. I think you'll be on cyclone watch. How are you, Glenda? Now, we've got a new modem, so hopefully we'll be able to not have any buffering tonight. Hi, Jody. Hi, Marnie. Who else have we got? So we've got Steve, which is me, Sharon, Glenda, Jody, Marnie. Hope you're doing well. Hi, Glenda. I was on time tonight, Glenda. You'd be really impressed. Right on 7 o'clock I was here. All right. That's fabulous. All right. How are you, Glenda? Glenda S and Glenda L. Sharon's sweltering and keeping up to date with the goings on, which is Cyclone Kirrily, which is your daughter's name. Does that mean, is your daughter a bit of a cyclone too, Sharon? Hope not. Oh, it's not the hottest city in the world, Jody. Sorry. No way. Anyway, so tonight we're going back to basics. And yes, you're on cyclone watch, but it's not expected. Well, everyone who's on Cyclone Watch, stays safe and follow the advice of authorities and, yeah, do what you need to do. We want to see you back here next week. All right. So we've got 2 things to talk about today. So one is some basic tips and tricks that will make your life a little bit easier. Let me just see if I can... it was stated that on the news, and because we all believe the news, Jodie, yes. Okay, so we're going to talk about, first up, how to assemble your rubber stamps. Hiya, Dad. Haven't seen you for ages. Thanks for popping by. So, we're talking about how we put together our rubber stamps, because I've been asked this so many times, and like, people follow the instructions on the front here, and let me tell you, that is so not the easiest way to put together your rubber stamps. So I'm going to show you an easy way, or easier way. I find it easy. So a lot of people, what they do is they'll peel off their backing and they try and fit their stamp in this, your rubber backing, and you try and fit your stamp in. Now, it doesn't always work. Are you well, Odette? I hope you're well. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take our backing out of our pack. Now, my apologies if you're going to see my husband's phone, because my iPad has been on charge for 24 hours now, and it's not on charging at all. So I'm a bit worried, and the dishwasher's not working, so I'm even more worried. So anyway, I hope you have a happy holiday, Odette. Okay, so this side here is the bit that goes on your block, right? So we're going to put this on our block, right? And everybody see that. So we're going to peel off, take our pick tool or the point of our scissors to just peel off this backing. Now, I've been asked this so many times, how do I put together my stamps? And because some people spend... Oh, Jodie, I have tried every cord in the house. We have a plethora of charging cords for different Apple devices. So it's not the cord when everything else charges and it doesn't. Right, so what we're going to do is we've got our stamp, we're going to peel our backing off and we're going to put it face down. Right? Now, some of my colleagues, they don't ever put the backings on. That drives me nuts, all right? When I watch a video and see someone who hasn't put their backing on their stamps, I just want to go and visit them and put all the backings on their stamps. And my really good friend who is a demo will know exactly that I'm talking about them, and it drives me nuts. So, yeah. Hi, Megan. No, Jodie, the dishwasher's, it's clogged and you can't unclog it. So we've tried everything for a month and we've given up. So yes. So see how I put that together? How simple was that? Let's do another one. So again, we're just going to take the backing off the stamp. Now, these big bits here, you can keep these big bits because you can use them for masking, all right? And I'll show you what. Yes. Well, yes, and the and the air conditioning is working intermittently today. So yesterday morning it didn't turn on at all, and we were both freaking out just a teeny bit. All right, so we peeled this out. We have put this on here. Our dishwasher is 7 years old though, and the iPad is even older than that. So, but the air conditioning is only a year old. Okay, so we've taken off our backing. Right. Now, you can see, I don't know, my block's a bit dirty. You can see, where's Marnie when I needed to clean my blocks and my scissors and everything for me? So you can see the outline. And so then you can just line up the outline with the outline of your stamp. And it's so easy. It just... So this is what I mean about we're getting back to basics, all right? I'm teaching you how to put together your rubber stamps so that if we ever craft together and I get to use your stamps, you won't drive me nuts because you haven't put them together. All right. The reason I like... It's not just a obsessive compulsive thing about putting them together. It's more that sometimes your stamps only go a particular way. Like there might be a round stamp and it's too easy to get them stamp upside down and wreck a whole project if you don't have your backing stickers on your rubber stamps. Yeah. I don't put my blocks in my dishwasher to give them a good clean blender. I actually get some not rubbing alcohol, but not isocol, it's a bit stronger. You can get it from Bunnings. And I wipe all my blocks over with that. And then I put them in some dishwashing liquid in the sink and let them soak for a while. And the reason I don't put them in the dishwasher is because if you do that too regularly, or if you've got your setting too high, or you've got a powder that's too abrasive, you will cloudy up your stamp, your blocks. So I don't recommend it. And there's no need, like some Dawn's or whatever it is, Morning Fresh, it will take all the dirt off and it's gentle. You don't want to scratch the hell out of them. Eucalyptus oil works really well too. I just use the alcohol. But I also sometimes, if there's, like this one here, has got lots of adhesive stuck to it. So there's a little product that you can get from the chemist and they use it for taking adhesive off your skin. And it, so I have they're little wipes and I have a stash of them. They're not cheap, but I do have a stash of them because of my surgeries that I've had. And they're really great because, you know, when they put the heart monitors and stuff on, and they they leave that sticky residue, or you might not know, the ECG monitors, when they put them on your skin, they leave a sticky residue. And sometimes after surgery, they don't take them off you. And so you might find them when you're having a bath, like a couple of days later, because the first 24 hours after surgery you're usually a bit dopey, but like you might find them later and like they're really hard to get off. So this stuff takes off the adhesive off the skin, but it does a fabulous job of taking it off your scissors and off your blocks. Yes, those wipes are awesome, Megan. Yeah. And Megan, I have no clue who you think that I'm talking about. Hi, Fiona. Thanks for joining. Oh. Sharon, I'm sorry to hear you've only got 2 industrial fans and no aircon. Oh, that's awful. Yeah, Megan, we went for a drive yesterday. That's how we coped with not having air conditioning. We do have fans and we have our old units, but yeah, it wasn't pretty, and we were both a bit hangry, but it was hangry because we were hot, not because we were hungry. Well, I was hungry because when I get really hot, I get really hungry for some reason. So, yeah. So anyway, the other tip that I'm going to give you is don't throw away these rubber things in your stamp set. And the reason I don't throw them away is that at a glance, I can see if I have any stamps missing, all right? If you've thrown away that rubber bit, you can't see when there are stamps missing. So that's my other tip about assembling stamps. Now, usually I would have a little, so what I do is normally have a little plastic bag. Let me see, I've got one here, this one will do. It's not normally this type of bag, but it might be, the Stampin' Up has clear envelopes. And these bits here, I keep these. So for example, I'm going to do it on the grid paper. Let's just stamp. What did I do? I'm just reading all the comments. Oh no. That's no good. That's no good at all, Sharon. November. So you've had all of Christmas without a fan. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a little trick. I'm just going to ink up my stamp. Now, the other thing, back to basics thing, is rubber stamps. You do need to, I've got a piece of scrap. Let's go stamp on that piece of scrap. You do need, with your rubber stamps, to clean them with stamping mist. Okay, it's fine to clean the excess ink off initially with baby wipes, but what you want to do is to get the most life out of them. It's like conditioning your hair, right? If you don't condition your hair for months and months and months, it goes all brittle and it cracks and it's just not nice. Same with your rubber stamps. So if you haven't cleaned them with a stamping mist, if you only use your baby wipes and see, even though you've got your gentle, fragrance-free, soap-free, irritant-free baby wipes, they have stuff in them, even though they say they don't. They have stuff in them that affects your stamps. So you want to, like, it's fine to clean them like this, but they're not 100% clean, so they've got whatever residue is in your baby wipe will be on your stamp. So what you want to get yourself is a Stampin' Scrub and some stamping mist. And of course, that's the one thing I left downstairs because I have been cleaning stamps today. All right, so I got a bit sidetracked there, and we're talking all about basics today. So sorry if you've seen this before. All right. So see, I kept this, right? what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop it on over the middle of my stamp, and I'm going to grab a my Calypso Coral ink, and I'm going to take a sponge dauber, but you could use a blending brush, and I'm just going to use my sponge dauber and just sponge around it. So what this does, or what these things are great for, is they're fabulous little masks, right? So don't throw them away. Keep them. I mean, if it's a die cut set, you can always do a die cut, but it just leaves a little border around the outside. So it's something really, really simple, and you can just wipe them off, because they're shiny, and just wipe them off and use them again. So I just pop them in my little plastic bag, and I'll stick that plastic bag to the front, in the front of my stamp set. And then you've got those little masks all the time. You don't have to cut extra ones. All right. Yes, I hope you get it sorted soon too, Sharon. That's just awful. I thought I was freaking out because our air conditioning guy can't come till next week, but I'm okay with that. Okay, so the other thing you'll see on these ink pads, not ink pads, on these sheets where you got the backings off your stamps from, you'll see it's got the words and it's got the product number. So what I normally do is I get my stamping trimmer and I will just cut this so I can throw this bit out. I don't need that anymore. But this bit here, and look, see, we're missing a stamp. And why are we missing a stamp? Because it's stuck to the back of my stamping trimmer. So I could see at a glance that, oh, that stamp isn't where it's supposed to be. Okay, if you don't know if you don't have that piece in there, how do you know? All right, and that was actually not planned. So, all right, so what I'm going to do, the other thing I do is I get some magnetic sheets and I put the coordinating dies in my thing with the piece of paper. But I've got this piece here, and I've got the back of my stamp case, and I'm just going to pop that piece in there, and then when it's face down, I know what the name of the stamp is. Okay. Yes, Megan, you could use that bit that you've just thrown, I just threw out for my old stamps, but Stampin' Up! Also has cling adhesive sheets that you can use that are designed for your stamps as well. So, or let you in on another little secret. Yeah, for those really old stamps that are the clear mount stamps, so they're rubber stamps but they're not sticky anymore, you get your multi-purpose glue, right? You spread it all over the back of the sticker and you let it dry. And then it becomes a repositionable glue, all right? So if you don't have that bit that I threw away or adhesive, cling adhesive, you can use multi-purpose glue. And I've been doing it for years. What I will say is that you will get messy blocks from doing that, but it's worth it. Okay, so I'm just going to put that to one side. I'll do that on a card later. All right, so we've put together our everyday details stamp. The other thing that I wanted to show you was people wanted a reminder of how to open their ink pads. So I told you this is really back to basics. So some people try and open them like this, right? It's much harder to open them like this than it is to put both thumbs on the spine. So you're opening your stickers at the front, put both thumbs on your spine of it, and it's not going to do it today, and you press it down, okay? So then it just opens, and if it's a bit tough, like that is, get your chapstick and run it down either side, and it'll move more freely. The other thing, when you first get your stamp set, underneath it, it has these stickers. So I've stuck one on the front, one on either side, and then the blank ones on the inside. Now I've still got one left. So I've got my sponge dauber. So what I can do is take the last one that's left and I can Fiona, I got mine online from, I think it was Craft Online. Talk to your husband. He will know where to get some because you can buy it in big sheets. I got, the ones I got, they were a pack of 10, and I will put the link in the comments, and they were exactly the right size, all right? I think it was Craft Online. That's only a new thing that I've been doing. That I've used for years. I have used, what do you call it? Now, see, this is a bit too, it blends in a little bit too well. So, what I'm going to do is grab a bit of my backing paper, right? Because I want to be able, see, I have a sponge dauber for every colour, and the reason I do that is that they're cheap and I don't want to cross-contaminate colours. But in saying that, your sponge dauber you can shove in a laundry bag and shove it in the washing machine. It works a treat to clean them up. Well, I shove mine in with the towels. And I usually wash them because I usually wash my towels with wool wash. So I'm just going to get that piece of backing paper and wrap it round. And see, you can see exactly what colour your sponge dauber is. And you've used all your stickers that are on your ink pad. Okay? Yeah, but Fiona, yes, I will put a link to magnetic sheets, but I reckon your husband will be able to get them a bit cheaper than what we can get them, and you have to wait for them to be on sale. Okay, right, so we've done a few basic things. We've assembled our stamps, we've got our masks there, we've learnt how to open our ink pad, we've learnt how to label our sponge daubers. So let's have some fun now. And look, if you don't have the labels, this bit here, where is it? This bit here peels off as well. So you could put, if you didn't use the paper label, you could use like the printer address labels or something. But this bit comes off, so, and you could stick a bit around your stamping blends as well, because when both the lids are off, right? See. Let's take the lid off there. If both the lids are off like that, this writing is really, really hard to read. So you can stick a bit of this around it as well. That would work. Now, I always label my stamping blends with light and dark. And if you don't have proper storage for your blends, grab a piece of Velcro, you know, the self-adhesive Velcro, and Velcro them together, right? So that'll keep your light and your dark blends together. That's one of my favourite tips. So that's really good when you're going to a retreat or something like that. All right. Let's move on to, I promised you we would have a little look at the Celebration catalogue, and because I now have all the papers here and the ribbons. So some of you came to my launch party and we didn't have all the papers then. And so if you haven't heard of Celebration before, basically it's the happiest time of Stampin' Up! Year. So you get rewarded for shopping. So for every $90 you spend, you get, or every 180, you get your choice of rewards. This is before shipping and handling. If you host a party or put in a qualifying order, which is a certain amount, I think it's $500, you get an extra $50 to spend. Or if you join, you get your starter kit and you can get a glass mat, or there's another option of getting extra product. But anyway, I'm going to show you what Celebration products I have, namely the papers, and people who are doing my paper share, they're getting some of these papers, so that's pretty exciting. Alright, so we're going to start with the first one in the Celebration catalogue, which is the Sunny Days paper. Now, this is a 12 by 12 paper, and you can't really see it in the mini catalogue. Now, I've cut, because I'm doing a paper share, I've had to cut some of it. So this is this piece. Hang on, how about I put it the right way? So it's a 12 by 12 and it's really lovely clouds on the other side. I don't know, I haven't checked whether those clouds coordinate with the cloud punch that Stampin' Up! Has had in the past. I don't know. So this is, it's just such a pretty colour, like so pretty. So you've got your pool parties, and then you've got poppies, and on the other side of the poppies are suns, strawberries, and I was going to say they were bees, but they're butterflies. Green poppies. I think they're just so pretty. And then rainbows. I think they're pansies. I don't think they're poppies. Or they might be poppies. I don't know. Let's call them pansy poppies. And then a nice bland colour side. Well, it's not really bland, it's like a little plaid in a petal pink colour. So that's the first paper that's in the mini catalogue. Sorry, celebration catalogue. Now, move to the next page. We have got the Light and Airy. Now, this is really pretty. Like, I know one of my girlfriends doesn't like birds, so there's no way she will ever get this. Okay, but it's got a nice reverse side as well. So it's really pretty pastel-y birds, like fresh freesia and purples, but then they've got nice Lost Lagoon background. So if you don't like the birds, look at that background, that's just so nice. I'm okay with the birds. I would probably use the reverse sides more than, or cut bits out of it. Like, I'd probably die cut around that bit and use it, or around this bit here, and use it as a focal point rather than use it all as a background. I haven't had a chance to play with these. That's on my list to do tonight. See, that's pretty enough. These birds look great when they're cut out. So that's a nice fun paper if you're into avian things. Is that the word, avian? Oh, that's your favourite one is Light and Airy. Oh, Light and Airy. Yes. Oh, well, it's nice. All right. The other thing that you might not have seen, and I love this. This is awesome. It's hidden down here. Is this pool party ribbon. And it's crinkly, but it's got a binding on it, so it's just lovely. And it's nice to tie, and so the people who are doing my product share will get a little bit of that as well. Okay. Then I do have the stamp set that's on that page, and it's the Cradled in Love stamp set. Again, these are all $90 things. So for every $90 you spend, you get a choice of a celebration item. But look at this little guy. I'll move him up closer. Isn't he just beautiful? He's a little elephant. And the mobile's got a little whale. Oh, that's so sweet. Anyway, I'll have to do something with that next month. All right, let's have a look at the next papers. The next paper is called Softly Stippled. Now, I didn't know the bow does tie nicely, Megan. It does tie really nicely. It's not a cotton ribbon, but it's not too slippery. All right. Now, I didn't know about this paper because these aren't colours, like Wild Wheat isn't a colour that it's not a go-to colour for me, but I loved this side. I don't mind that one, but I loved that side. So I'm thinking this would make a fabulous scrapbook page. Then you've got some flowers which you can leave as they are, or you can colour them in. Again, really nice, bright, painted sort of a background. Then This one's got a carpet sort of Hessian sort of a background, a Hessian pattern. But then it's got pretty little flowers, so you could probably, I reckon that'd make a nice little box or something. And then this one, again, it's a wild wheat, but so that's, I like that side because it's Lost Lagoon and the wild wheat isn't so prominent there. So there's 12 sheets in a pack and it's 12 by 12 paper. Alright. The other thing on that page, on that layout, is the, now what are they called? Opaque faceted gems. And these are really, really cute. And they're in Calypso Coral and Pecan Pie and Pool Party, but they're sort of like a light. So those three are sort of lighter and the bigger ones are a bit darker, or it might just be how I'm looking at them. But that coral one seems more opaque than that one, if that makes sense. So they're also a celebration item, and you get 50 of each colour. So yeah, and they're a nice size. Right, I'm just keeping my eye on the time. The next paper, and I think this might, have I got it? This is the Mostly Adored paper. Now, this is pretty special because it's just special. It's got plain colours on one side. So let's see. It's got hearts. And it's got plaid. And it's got more hearts. And then even more hearts. Oh, hi Tiffany. Lovely to see you. You snuck on before I could see you. And then we've got a bit more plaid. And then we've got a marbled look. But let's show you the other side. So we've got extra, we've got gold, sparkly gold, and then we've got gold hearts. So if you cut that down the centre, you could have hearts going either way. And then you've got these beautiful, beautiful little leaves, and you could colour those. Like you could use your blending brush and colour that to whatever colour you want. And then look at this marbled one. So if you were doing something for their new house or something, you could use that, or for their renovations or something. You could, bathroom renovations. And then there's a gold plaid. So again, you could use it as it is or colour it. And then these lovely little flowers, which you could fussy cut. There's a lot of them there, so you could fussy cut them. I don't know. And I don't know if these hearts on this coordinate with any other. Oh, they coordinate with the Adorning Hearts bundle. So you should be able to cut out some of the hearts with that. That would be good, wouldn't it? All right. Well, I've only got half a pack, Tiffany. So, yeah. I am a bit worried about how quickly that I'll use it up. All right, then we have the next paper, which I've cut it in half because I needed it for my paper share. And so this is, oh, I don't have that stamp set, so I'm not talking about that. But it goes with the hexagon punch and it's fabulous. So this is the Trusty Tools paper, toolbox paper. It's a 12 by 12, but I've cut it down to 6 by 12. So it's got screwdrivers and hammers. And I've seen a lot of people use this as their toolbox. Then there's, what do you call this? Tape measures. Had to think for a moment, just had a blank. It's been a long day. Because I get up and work when I wake up, so yeah, it's a ruler, tape measure ruler. Yeah, got it, Megan. Yeah, and then some tools, and then I've cut out some tools already out of this piece. And look at the other side, so that's like a grid paper. And it's funny, my husband, he has to draw everything, so he, like if he's planning something, like something to do with the garden or something to do with the house, or even just planning to paint something, he goes and gets a piece of grid paper and he draws. So I have to keep this away from him. And then this is just a plain piece, but it's really nice colour. And then this reminds me a bit of a pegboard or dotty, but you could use it for anything. Like you could just use it for all sorts of dotty things. Then you've got screws and bolts, and so you've got Phillips head screws and flathead screws, and yeah, and then these are nuts and screws. And then this one again is like a paintwork background. Really love that. And see here, they've used their box, that red liney paper to create their box. Right. I'll show you the other things that I have got out of this mini. I don't have everything. I could have everything, but I chose to do things a bit differently. So I know my friend Vicky Kello used this last night on her Facebook Live. So this is the Jungle Pals stamp set. Now this is my favourite stamp set in the mini, in the celebration, because of this little guy, this toucan. Because one of my best friends, she loves toucans. She's not quite as addicted as I am to flamingos, but she doesn't tell people that she loves toucans, because she's seen what happens when I tell people that I love flamingos, because everybody gives you flamingo things, which I'm very grateful for. But Steve said we can't have any more flamingo things. The lemur is cute too, and so's the sloth. And Steve and I have this joke about that he's a sloth. And, like, he does lots of stuff, but when he relaxes, it's like he's a sloth. You can't move him. So I think that's really cute. So that is a $90 stamp set. So if you then spent another $180, you could... Oh, Glenda, your daughter's sloth mad. Yeah. And you could... If you spent another $180, you could get the Jungle Powers dies. So this has a tree, and the tree is textured. The leaves are textured. The vines are textured. It's got a couple of extra leaves. So the thing I love about Stampin' Up sets, and I know that some people have seen counterfeits on cheapy websites. Stampin' Up set dies have more in them usually than the counterfeit ones, and of course they're better quality as well. So yeah, please don't buy counterfeit Stampin' Up stuff, because what that does is it takes away from designers and the people who spend hours creating stuff. Anyway, that's my little soapbox thing. So you've got all the dies that match, and plus a few extras that match the stamps. Now, I haven't put this one together. It's a rubber mount stamp set. So that's going to be something that I'll have to do in the next couple of days. All right. A couple more things. Hi, Julie. Lovely to see you. Okay, so there is another bundle. If you spend $180, you get this really beautiful embossing folder and some lovely little stamps like the hello there and you're in my thoughts and I appreciate you. They're really great sentiments. I don't have that one. I know Marnie has it and she made me a beautiful card that has that. And then this one here is a detailed dogwood. So this is, I've got this one here. And I haven't put it together either. It's a rubber mount stamp, but I think that it's lovely. And I was going to do a very, very quick card. Oh, thank you, Julie. You're so kind. I'm going to do a very, very quick card with this. Okay. Now, just turning over, if I remember I said about the join offer. So there's two offers. You can get a glass mat. Now, I want one of these. So if anyone joins and they don't want this glass mat, please call me. Yeah. And it's got a silicone piece and it's got a cleaning cloth, and if you're doing a lot of mixed media stuff, you will want one of these. Or you can, the option two is you can get an extra $50 worth of products of your choice. But why would you do that when your glass mat studio is worth $106? So I would, yeah. And both options you get for $169 plus your $235 worth of product for $169. So, and if you, I've still got a couple of spots open if anyone wants a party next month. And if you put in a qualifying order or hosted a party where there's $500, you'll get your 10% hostess rewards plus an extra $50 to spend on whatever you like. So that is our, oh, you have that glass mat. Oh, Julie, I'm jealous. I have to say I'm very envious of anyone who got that glass mat. I was in Bali when they released it and I didn't realise that you could buy it. Yeah, it was a very tricky time of year. All right, I'm going to do a really quick creation with the detailed dogwood stamp. So I have got a piece of, what have I got? I've got this piece here, which is a very vanilla. And I've cut this with the dies that go with the Everyday Details. I hope so too, Glenda. I really hope so. So these are the dies that go with this that I'm using. Oh, someone asked me what you would use these for. So these two are just to create little holes in the background and create a different accent. All right. Okay. So I've got a couple of things cut out with those. I haven't punched the holes out of them yet using my... I've cut this one out of here. The small ones, when you cut them out, they cut holes around the outside as well as on the insert. Okay. I've got some pieces of Papercraft. And so this is, I'm winging this, of Papercraft, copper clay, little piece of pecan pie, another bit of vanilla, all right, and a bit of Calypso coral. Now, the reason I chose Calypso coral is because I want to use these little opaque faceted gems. I've also got some other paper here that I've cut down. Ooh, you're receiving money for your birthday, so you're excited to place an order. That's fabulous. I wish I got some money for... Well, I did get some money from Stampin' Up for Christmas, but it was a prepaid Visa card, and when I put my order in, it wouldn't work. So this is some paper from the mini catalogue, and again, it's all nice and shiny. It's a specialty paper, and it's got some gold foil, and even though the paper itself is white, I'm still going to use some vanilla cardstock with it. And I think, so absolutely winging this, I'm going to use this paper here. And maybe this, one of those three. So we're going to go with Papercraft today. Oh, the other thing, and we're going to use also some of this gold faux leather trim. So it looks like it's leather, but it's got gold. Good question. I don't have my catalogue up here. I don't know. Megan, what's the name of this GSP? I think it's Nature's something or other. I'm sorry. I'll put it in the comments after when I go back downstairs. All right. So I've got a few different things that I could play with, right? So let's get started. Oh, I might even use that paper because this has got gold in it, copper in it. Nature's Harvest. Knew it was Nature's something. Rustic Nature's Harvest. Do you think that we should do a giveaway tonight? I feel like we probably should do a giveaway. What do we think? I don't know quite. Oh, I know what we could give away. So, I think we should do a random draw. What I will do is I will, at the end of this video, I will go through and write everyone's name that I've seen that's been watching, everyone who's commented, and then I might do a little draw, maybe give away one of these. Maybe one of these would be good. Oh, it's pretty heavy. What do you think? This is a surprise. So I think that that might work really well. I think that'd be really nice. I'm feeling particularly generous today. All right. So what I'm going to do is, because I just love this paper, but I want to do a bit of layering. I've got my, I did bring a mystery gift, yeah. I think that'd be nice. Okay. So who have we got watching? So if I don't know your address, I'll have to message you afterwards. So we've got, yeah. And it's, yeah, I think that's be fun. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut this piece here, and I'm cutting it at 3 7/8 by 5 5/8. I'm not going to throw away that little scrap. I'm going to keep that scrap. Jodie, you just want it for the bag. That's, I know you. Right. Let me grab out my dogwood, detailed dogwood stamp. And I'm sorry, but I have to put it together because I can't complain about other people not having theirs together if I have not put mine together. So this is, I like this set because it's sort of rustic. Let's pull this bit off. Now normally I would put my whole set together all at once, like I'd assemble it. But what I do is I don't assemble my stamps until I go to use them the first time. And because sometimes you'll get a stamp set and you'll never use it. And if I haven't used a stamp set within the first 80 days of owning it, I probably am not going to use it. And I sometimes I will, there must be a reason that I don't use it. So it might be that I return it or something. Sometimes, I don't always, but I have to consider it, returning it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use the Pebbled Path ink to just create a flower. I've just got a piece of very vanilla cardstock, not white. Okay. I will cut that down because I'll use a piece of that vanilla inside the card. But now, you can use these water-based inks when you are stamping, using stamping blends. They're not, there's no rule that says that you can't. I wouldn't use StazOn. There is a rule that says you can't do that, but so I'm just going to really quickly and very roughly colour, and I'm hoping I've still got colour left in this. Very roughly colour my flowers. Nature's Sweetness is the sweet that paper comes from. Yes, Jodie, it's a fabulous sweet. I didn't buy the whole suite because I was on a budget. And I know that doesn't seem like I was on a budget with all the celebration items that I own, but I was on a budget and I still am. So I can't have everything, apparently. And and especially since we have air conditioning to fix and pergolas to put up and yeah. And what I like about stamping on vanilla, Julie, is that it is really not as harsh as white. Now, you can use your stamping blends on any of the light colours, right? So you want to stamp your Memento ink on Pool Party or Bubble Bath and use your stamping blends on that, by all means, do that. Yes, I did receive a huge delivery from Stamping Up. And you know what, Glenda? It wasn't for me. It was all the papers for the paper share. So that was very disappointing. It was fun opening it, though. The only things that were in there for me was what was it? Some multi-purpose glue. So that was disappointing. That's multi-purpose glue is not nearly as exciting as paper. And yes, I have shared all of the paper that came in with the paper share with the people who are doing the share. So everybody gets a little bit of paper and ribbon. Okay. So see, you can still blend beautifully on your now this is rough blending, so it's not going to be as precise as what I would do for something like if I'm doing my blends class or something like that, because or blends club, which is starting next month, and each month you get some blends, 3 blends duos, and you get 4 tutorials, so you can build your collection. And the first month, guess what we're doing? We're doing flowers. So, and if you already have all the blends, you can buy the blends club tutorials separately as well. So that is an option. Or if you're out of Australia, you can also buy the blends tutorials. Just to, so I'm using the knowledge that I have of being a demo for 15 years, or almost 15 years, plus the knowledge I have from being an accredited Copics teacher, because some of the techniques are the same. All right. So I'm just going to add some green to this. I'm using some Granny Apple Green because I do think that it needs, and I'm not even using the light Granny Apple Green, I'm just doing the whole thing in dark because it's quick. Okay, you guys don't want to be here till midnight for me to do every thing precisely, so we're just doing it quickly. All right. few people have asked me what's the difference between stamping blends and Copics markers. So Copics markers, to get a good result, you need a lot of pens, and they were designed for graphic artists, architects, and illustrators. All right, they're not designed like town planners and people like that who have to do lots of colouring. So if you wanted to colour a flower with a Copics marker, you would probably need, and there's a specific system that they use to match up colours. They've got a colour wheel, and it's all very in-depth and complicated. With Stampin' Up, markers or stamping blends, you need, to get a good result, you need a neutral, your colour of your flowers, and your colour, one colour for your flowers and one colour for your foliage. You can layer them with other colours, but really you only need, to get a really good effect, 3 for foliage, 3 colours, and a colour lifter. All right, so it's a totally different way of working. Now I'm going to use this one and pull out another sponge dauber. And we're doing a lot of tone on tone stuff. So what I'm going to do is, my blending brushes are all downstairs, so I'm just using my sponge dauber, and I want it to look stripy. All right, I don't want it to look blended. The stripiness gives it some, adds some interest. It's sort of like a faux metal look sort of thing. Now, who have we still got watching? Is everybody still awake? Make sure you've commented so that I know that you're here. Yes, the Copics markers are about $8 a pen. Well, some of them are $10, $12, depending on what they are. But yes, they're expensive because, and there's 3 different types. So, oh, you're still here. Yep, great. So yes, that's part of the reason, because they're designed specially for graphic artists and architects and illustrators. They're not designed for crafters. If they were designed for crafters, they would be so much easier to use. I'm just going to get my take my pick tool. I'm just going to punch out these little holes around the edge. Okay. So, yeah. So to be accredited, you have to, like for Copics, you have to do a course. Then you have to be do an assessment, and then you've got to keep up your accreditation. And I decided when stamping, well, I did it before the blendabilities, which were the version before Stamping Blends came out. So that was a long time ago. And because I wanted to work at a craft shop that there's a craft chain called, or it's an artist chain really more than a craft shop, called Eclectic, and I wanted to work there. And that was the way that my way in to, was to have that accreditation. And then Stamping Up brought out blendabilities and blends, and then later blends, and it seemed, Copics just seemed like really hard work. Like, I love the effect that they do and what people do with creating hair and stuff like that. And but you can do that with stamping blends, trust me. All right. So this looks like a sort of a brush metallic. Now, if we have more time, I might use my it's a little bit uneven actually, but we're going to say that it's supposed to be like that. I might, if I had a bit more time, we might sprinkle some embossing powder, silver embossing powder on that, or something like that. All right. So now, what I'm going to do, so I've just got to decide which way I want this to go. I'm thinking that I'm going to get it to go, I'm going to make it a little bit different. I'm going to get it to go that way. All right. So I still want to put some other paper on there. So, but what I'm going to do is just cut this to size. And the easiest way for me to cut it to size is I'm going to get my take my pick tool, and in a couple of where the couple of those dots are, I'm just going to actually move that up a bit. I'm just going to put a few holes, a few marks, so I can see where the perforation is, and I'm going to cut out some of those. I'm not doing it too hard because I don't want to make holes. I just want to see where I'm going to need to cut. Okay, and it's probably very faint and you can't see it, but I can see it. Oh, you've got, oh, well, I had all of the Copics markers, Megan, so that's hundreds and hundreds of dollars worth of markers, and I couldn't sell them. I gave a lot of them away because I just couldn't sell them, and I couldn't use them, and I just wasted my time doing that. I'm just going to cut this along because I realised I need to make sure that I've got a piece for the inside as well. So it's going to change. And I do love the, I really do love the effect that blends and those alcohol markers create, but I'm just going to cut this a little bit. It doesn't seem straight to me. It seems a little bit wonky. Just trim it up just a teeny bit because I want it to be sort of square. This one I just need to trim down just a bit. just a fraction to make it the right size. Yeah. So yeah, if I was going to do like proper illustration work for a project, I might even use my stamping blends for that. I don't think that I would go back to my Copics markers. So cut that down a bit more. I've never heard of those ones. What are those? Shine Haynes blends. I've never heard of them. And, oh dear, I just lost my cutting blade. Oh. The cutting blade is the same colour as our carpet. So, or very similar, like our carpet's a charcoaly colour. And so when you drop the cutting blade and it falls that side up, it's really, really hard to see. Especially, that might just be me being old, I don't know. I'm going to cut a little bit more off the top. So don't you love it when I just wing it? No, probably not. Probably think I really need to go to bed quickly. But yeah, it's alright. So coming up next week, we have our Be Mine class on Wednesday. I'm excited for that. And then we have also our mystery stamping. Oh, that came around again very quickly, didn't it? Jodie, are you saying yes, you want to go to bed? That you want me to hurry up, or yes, you like it when I wing it? Okay, so I've got some stamping dimensionals. I am just going to... I've got black ones today, so I'm just going to pop a couple of those on. And the reason I'm using the black ones is not just because they are the closest, but it's because I want to make sure that the white ones aren't visible. They're not visible. So, yeah, I still didn't get that frame exactly right. But we're working on it, aren't we? Oh, I'm currently working on a scrapbook project. I know some of you who've known me for a long time would be just in shock. I haven't scrapbooked for, not properly, for probably 10 years. So, I think the last scrapbook I did was a digital scrapbook for my mum and dad's 50th wedding anniversary. So this year is on the same day as our wedding anniversary, it's their 65th wedding anniversary. So I decided this year is our year to do some scrapbook style projects again. Okay, I'm just gonna pop that on like that. All right, so we've got our background there. We need a bit of this paper as well. And I think that it needs a little bit of Calypso Coral to lift it as well. I'm thinking thinking, we've used that paper. Okay, I'm going to use a bit of this paper. Alright. So, it's a process, isn't it? So, I'm going to cut it at 4 and... cut it at 4 3/4. Okay. And then maybe 3 1/4. We'll see how that goes. You can always check a little bit off. I'm still going to use this, but I wanted to add a bit of colour in. So I've got this bit here, this white bit. Now, don't freak out that it's white, because we have got somewhere here on my desk, somewhere here, I've got my sponge sauber and my Calypso coral. So I'm just going to, remember, press the spine of my Calypso coral. Just going to put that out the way for a second. I'm just going to move that so I'm not trying to sponge it on where I've got that. And I'm just, now it would be easier to use my blending brush here, but I just want to add a bit of colour, make it not so white. And I'm not worried that it's going to be blotchy, because we're doing shabby chic all the way today, or steampunk, or whatever you like to call it. It's not going to be clean, simple lines. Good night, Marnie. You have a good day at school tomorrow. So sorry, it is taking a bit longer than I'd planned tonight, but I did want to make something, and it's not really as quick as I thought. Not worried about the middle. Yes, Megan, I have ended up doing something with the love heart. I'll show that next week. Some finished product. Yeah, that love heart's been sitting in my craft room for quite some time. Right, I'm going to pop that there. Pop. Now, this has got writing on it, so you need to make sure you've got your writing up the right way. About here. Now, as I said, I'm making, so this is not a, not using a sketch or anything. This is just Chrissy got a little inspired by some paper and went, oh, let's do this. Okay, I'll pop that on here. Now, I also brought upstairs some, oh no, I didn't. I thought I had. I was going to bring upstairs some Pebble Path ribbon. Yep, of course, I'll show you next week. Megan, definitely. Now, if I was doing my usual, I would be doing some distressing and all sorts of things, but we're not doing that. We're just using your sponge daubers. Now, if you can't afford the blending brushes, you get 5 sponge daubers in a pack, right? They are your friend. Don't go and buy the cheap, nasty ones from somewhere else, because you'll be disappointed. Trust me, I know this from experience. It's just, you just want to have something that works well, don't you? So I'm just cutting a bit of Calypso Coral. I don't even know what sizes I'm using. Alright. I haven't stuck this down completely, I don't think. No, I haven't. So I can just gently prise it up. Oh. Now, normally when I use paper, I would use multi-purpose glue, but I don't feel like getting gluey fingers tonight, so I am just using my seal adhesive. Now, I was going to show you how to put together a seal adhesive, but it hasn't run out, so I'm thinking that I just need to gently prise that off. Now, I'm not worried about it ripping because no one's going to see it. And the other demonstrators out there going, Chrissy, what on earth are you doing? And that's okay. So remember that this has got words on it, so you need to make sure the T's are the right way up. That's the easiest way. So this is what happens when you change your mind while you're doing something. You need to gently prise things up, and I'm going to pop a bit of adhesive on the back of that. And I don't care that it's not in the middle. Okay. Really wanted it just to be able to see that. Ideally, maybe I should have put it down a little bit lower. All right, so we need a sentiment for this. So this has got, oh, this has got a dragonfly. Sorry, but we have to have a dragonfly. Because my friend that likes the, and I am not putting this stamp together, okay? I'm going to be one of those demonstrators that annoy me and not put my dragonfly together just because it's late at night. And I do need to be able to see what I'm doing to put them together. Now, what I'm going to do is I am going to ink up my dragonfly with my Calypso Coral ink, and I want to put a lot of ink on there. Then I want to have his body a different colour, and I'm going to use the Pebble Path again. So I'm going to grab my Pebble Path sponge dauber, and I'm just going to sponge the middle of my dragonfly. Okay, so that adds a darker ink on there. I don't have my Stamping Right markers up here. If I had them up here, I would have used them. Okay, so I've got my dragonfly. I'm quite happy with that. I'll get my Calypso Coral ink, add a bit more Calypso Coral sponged ink on here. I can't see people's comments anymore. All right, Calypso Coral sponged ink on here. So when you mix the Calypso Coral and you mix the Pebble Path, it makes a completely different colour, doesn't it? I'm just going to sponge dauber that on. Now this dragonfly would be great on scrapbook pages. Hey Leon, nice of you to pop by. Hope you're doing well. That's a surprise seeing you here. Okay, so we're nearly done. I hope the boys are back, have a good day back at school. Or they might not have gone back today. Well, they may have, I don't know. They may be lucky ones and not go back till tomorrow. Anyway. Alright, so we're just going to quickly fussy cut this out. I'm sorry, I'm not doing it under the camera because I need to be able to see what I'm doing. And it's very, very rough fussy cutting. Again, we're doing rough blending, rough fussy cutting. And like this type of card isn't for everyone. But it will be pretty. So if you liked tonight's video, make sure you share it with your friends. I'd like to have a few more new people watching as well, because I like sharing what I do and I love what I do. So you might not always love the projects that I do, but most of the time I love what I make. Like, and as we said, tonight is a wing at one. All right. Okay, so we've got our little dragonfly. We've got our things. We never did get our sentiment, so let's grab our sentiment. What shall we... So we're going to have to use a sentiment from a different set because there are no sentiments in this set. There's lots of other cool stuff, but no sentiments. So I'm going to use one from the Everyday Details. And I think this one's beautiful. You make every day a little brighter. I think that that's how I feel. Oh, the other one is... No, we're going to use that one. Because I think, well, I know who I'm going to send this card to, and it's not to my bestie who loves dragonflies. It's to another friend who has been going through a bit of a rough time, and I want to give her a little bit of joy. So, and we're going to stamp this one in Pebble Path again. How about I bring back my... Oh, see, this is the first time that I think that Leon's watched. And so I'm all nervous. Yes, I hope she loves it. She's one of my team. She's been in my team for a long time. And I think it's just nice to send something that makes their heart happy. Now, if I was doing this in my craft room, what I would do is my Stamping Right markers, I would have coloured the words Everyday and Brighter in a different colour with Stamping Right markers. Don't do it with stamping blends. You won't be able to get the blends off your ink, off your stamps. it's not highly, don't recommend that, or advise against it 200%, because I think that I don't want you to wreck your stamps. Okay, now let's see if I cut and stamp that straight. I'll probably make it a little bit thinner. Great job of explaining and written. Yeah, it's a bit of a thanks, Leon. Had a bit of practice now. All right, whoops. You'll have to come to a class with me. That'd be great. We could do a class where you scrapbook a page for your car about your cars, and you could get all your car mates to come and watch. That'd be fun. And we could even have beer. That would be good. Well, you guys could have beer. I wouldn't have beer. I might have ginger beer, but that'd be fun. I know I've asked you before, so yeah. Thanks, Jodie. All right. Let's stick this on. Again, we're going to use a black dimensional because a lot of the background is black. And so those who haven't watched before, a dimensional is basically a little foam adhesive dot thingy. Dimensional is just Stampin' Up's brand name. Now, before I stick it on, I'm just going to sponge underneath the wings and underneath the tail so that it doesn't have any white under it. Okay, and I'm just going to use my bone folder to curl it slightly up. Just very gently, so like you're curling a nice thick ribbon. Okay. Gonna pop that in the corner there so it looks like it's going on to a little flower. All right. Still haven't cut this perfectly. When you haven't cut something completely straight, don't stress over it, all right? All you need to do is grab your sponge dauber, sponge around it, like so. So I'm doing this one in the same colour as the flowers. Okay. And just going to sponge around that. And get your scissors and distress it. Okay. What the distressing does, it makes it look like it's supposed to be torn and crooked and a bit vintage looking. Oh, there are distressing tools you could use, and that's okay. All right, and distress the ends as well. So then, no one really knows that it's not completely straight. They think that it's supposed to be like this. All right. Okay, so I think it's supposed to be, and you can also add a bit of the darker ink as well. So I still have a lot of ink on my sponge dauber. Now, if you've got acrylic nails, you can also use those to distress the edges, but I don't recommend it, especially if you've got gel nail polish, because if you're using your nails for stuff like that, when you've got gel nail polish or standard nail polish, it's just going to come off. All right, so that's very, very rustic looking. We've got our wink of Stella. All right, we're going to just squeeze our wink of Stella into our lid. So this is the wink of Stella brush. And just flick it over. So that adds a little bit of sparkle as well. And put a bit in the middle. And a bit on the body of your butterfly. So see my, dragonfly. And see my dragonfly is very, very rustic looking. It's not fussy cut well. But like, I don't have 2 hours to fussy cut perfectly. And most people don't. So tonight we've got through a lot. We've learned how to put together stamp sets. We've looked at the celebration papers and the celebrations of offerings. We've talked about mystery stamping that's coming up next week. Talked about the Beeline class that's coming up next Wednesday, and I think that's $35. The paper share people, I'm still just prepping all your paper share stuff, and I'm putting this across the flowers. All right, now just make sure that your dimensional doesn't sit over top of your frame. Okay, so your frame you want your words to fit flat on the frame. I do need to put a little bit of this faux leather trim on somewhere. I did promise we'd use it. I'm just gonna tear that up a bit because it's a little bit long. Just trim that off. I'm just going to tear that off. And I use my dauber to add a bit more colour there. Oop. Might need to move your sponge. Yeah, dimensional. Okay, thank you, Glenda. I'm looking forward to seeing you next week at class. Do we need this? We don't need that, but what we do need, I did say we would use that trim, but I'm getting to the point I'm a little bit tired, so I'm not quite sure where I would put it. But what I will do is put some bling on it, and then it'll be done. Oh, and we need to stamp the inside and pop something inside. So I'm going to use these little, two of these little celebration embellishments and one big one. Okay. Not bad for thinking on my feet, hey Glenda? Or Glenda L. Definitely a wing it card. What I did want to do is this little piece here. I don't want to waste that. So I'm going to just get my... See, I said you could colour this white. So I'm going to just colour it. Now, this is one of those ones that you're finally back, and I'm nearly done, Sharon. Yeah. Just going to move this one down a little bit. So this isn't a simple stamping card. This is definitely a labour of love card. Now I'm not going to waste this little bit here. I'm just going to gently slip it underneath. Oh, I'm cutting the ends at a diagonal. Slip it underneath here. But it does work better if you do put a little bit of adhesive on the back. Right, it works so much better. And we just want to see a little bit of it. I don't want to see the whole thing, just a little bit. It's a nice, you don't want to waste stuff. And like, this is beautiful paper, and it's expensive paper because it's got the gold in it. So we want to make sure that we use it. And you don't see the pattern. You just see that it's got a bit of gold and it's a bit of glimmer. So we've got those. We want to put our piece on the inside wherever I've lost that. Oh, that's gone. You should see my desk. I'll take a photo after of what the desk looks like. Now, don't forget, I am going to do a draw for a giveaway for a mystery package. So anyone who's watched tonight and who's made a comment, I'll write your name and I'll do a lucky draw, and I'll get Steve to pull the name out of the hat. I might have to wait for my phone to recharge. But yeah, so that's the inside of our card. Like, if you could just put, oh, we could just put this on the inside. Yeah, let's just do that. I'm just going to quickly poke these little holes, little bits out. Should use my Take My Pick tool. The bee. Oh, that's right, Glenda. It's $30 to be my class. Yes, I couldn't. And then we raffle off the stamp set at the end of class. And then you have an option of buying the dies or punch. And we do that for every stamp set that we use in classes going forward. It just means that if you win the raffle of the stamp set we use, it's been used to make samples and to yeah, do those things. Yeah, make samples and for the class, but it hasn't been used millions of times, because at the most I will make 10 samples using a stamp set, and then that will be it. But most times I'm lucky if I make 5. Sometimes I might just make the stuff for the class. Right. And we're going to stick this on the inside. And we'll stick it flat because we want our card to close. I'm not even putting a sentiment on it. I think it looks just nice the way that it is. And there we are. Our little labour of love for tonight. My Wing It card using the Celebration set, which you can get when you spend $180. And isn't it lovely? Look, you've got background textures and little tickets and ampersands and flowers, and it coordinates with a punch as well, and dragonflies. So there we go. Oh, you're still with us, Tiffany. And oh goodness, I'm so glad so many people stayed. I don't know, Sharon, I don't think we'll win the mess. Definitely not. I am a messy crafter. Although my craft room itself is tidy, but I will take a photo so you can see the crafter math. And yeah, thank you so much for everyone for hanging in there and watching, and I hope you enjoyed tonight's Facebook Live and enjoyed learning. Oh, Thank you, Carolyn. I didn't see you sneak on there. Oh, I'm sorry I missed you. I hope you're well. And, yeah, I'm really glad that people stayed. Good night. Until next time, happy creating. Bye for now.